So this is interesting. Well, for me, probably not for you guys. But I am doing something a little bit different, which hopefully though will be more stable than, you know, the garden streams and stuff like that. So actually shouldn't be that bad, he says. We'll see how it goes. But I'm just trying to make sure I've got the noise filter on and stuff like that. Yeah, noise filter. Oh, suppression. Oh, it looks like I actually knew what I was doing, even though I don't. Well, hello. Oh, hello. I sort of want to listen to the stream back, but I obviously don't want to listen to the stream back at the same time. Let's get my face on. People will be like, Jay, what is that incredibly coloured background you've got there? And yes, I know, I appreciate it being, it's very pretty, isn't it? Just trying to make sure I've got stuff that I could get up. Ah, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. I'll probably just have a quick listen back to the stream. I don't know if it sounds a little echoey, but it is what it is. I'm doing it in the kitchen, partly just to see if I could, and partly, you know, like if it gets insane heat like it did a couple of weeks back, that I can actually continue to stream. Because I tell you, like, last week was unbearable. So there you have it. Hey, there's one thing I can do on the camera, which you guys won't. It'll just brighten me up a little bit without any loss of... I was going to say performance, but that's not really how cameras work. But there you have it. Well, I hope you're all very well. I'm going to very quickly listen to the stream back to make sure everything is working. So just bear with me a second whilst I stop the music and listen to myself. Sounds fine to me. Everything sounds fine. I'm like a little bit isolated on this computer though, because it's basically it's basically my old computer. Hey Thomas, how are you? I just watched your 24-hour vid. Go try the ruined buildings. Oh good. They're very easy if you've got a hot wire cutter. They're very, very easy if you have a hot wire cutter. If you don't, pain in the backside is all I could say. But hi Thomas, how are you by the way? And hi Kevin. I hope you're both doing very well today. Yeah, I'm in slightly different circumstances, mainly because I'm downstairs, which I'm hoping will do two things. One, enable me to stream when the weather is insane, because if I get hot, I can literally just open the back door. And two, the baby is obviously in a different... She's like upstairs, whereas normally she'd be like right next to me, so it would be a bit weird to stream. I'm always worried about waking her up, is basically what I'm saying. So I like this option. I'm using like an old microphone. I brought the same camera down, but obviously there's nothing on the background. It's the same color as my skin. Yeah, I'm all right. It's minor headache today. But and if anything, weirdly, sometimes when I get a headache, I think, oh, I'll stream. Because I'm like, I'm not going to do anything else. So if I'm not going to do anything useful, I stream. Does that make sense? Because at least then I feel like I've done something. It's all about trying to make you feel like you've been that productive member that you want to be in society. Yeah, because streaming is obviously super productive. I'm going to take them off because they're actually going to do my nutting. They're very good for sound isolating, I will give them that, but they're actually very warm. I might just quickly open this back door a little bit. That's it. So you're going to be left with a beautiful coloured wall. And you also, I don't know if you got to see my backside, but that's my backside if you did. But yeah, so the whole stream today will just be talking about wargaming as a whole. Those of you astute or paying, no, astute enough sounds weird because I'm like, you've got to have been paying attention to me, but that's not necessarily true. Those of you who have been paying attention may have noticed I only did a video yesterday and I hadn't done one in like literally a month. And that's like the longest gap I've done, and there's quite a few different reasons for that. One of them, but probably three different reasons. One of them was I was playing a computer game. But that's not really the main reason. But it is weird when you just get a different hobby and that seems to like overtake you temporarily. But obviously there's been quite a few things going on in the wargaming sphere very recently, and none of which have been conducive to my productivity. I will tell you that for sure. Do let me know if the audio sounds good or if anything sounds weird. You might hear that door. My wife is in the background. I don't know if you'll be able to hear that. I'm almost tempted to see if you'll be able to hear what she's doing. Now she's creeping around like I was gonna say a cat in the night. Cats don't really creep in the night. If you ever had cats, they're all like just knocking crap over all the time, aren't they? They're like, yeah, man, I don't care. I'm just gonna run about if anything. But you might be able to hear stuff like that. But yeah, Wargaming as a whole right now, it's been interesting. I'm referring to, of course, Games Workshop. Well, there's been 2 or 3 main points. Let me know if I miss any, but one of them being there was that really, I don't even know where it came from necessarily, but apparently Games Workshop aren't paying their staff enough. Like they were paying a rules writer like 20 grand, right? Which isn't, I did not say this without getting me in trouble. It's not like awful, it's livable, but for somebody in that kind of position, you'd sort of expect more than that, I guess, is what a lot of people were saying. And obviously, I guess that is true. And that was one thing that they did. The other thing they was taking down, and see, when they said TTS, I was like Tabletop Simulator, but they're actually taking down the text-to-speech channels, which I don't really understand. And maybe I'm misunderstanding, but I don't understand why they would take. I don't understand that at all in any way, shape, or form necessarily. Like, what is the difference between somebody reading something and text to speech? I've not been kept in the loop, so I don't like listen to me here and be like, Jay, you absolute numpty. It's because of this, and this. Like, I'm very much open to the possibility that I don't know what I'm talking about. Which is actually fairly common. But yeah, like, so there was text-to-speech. Apparently there might be something with the NDAs now getting a little bit funky and Games Workshop being a little bit strict on those. I don't really know. But it felt like Games Workshop very briefly had a lot of negative press. Maybe it was also to do with the limited box sets. People in the past have been very unhappy with them and that kind of thing. So I don't really know if I've missed anything or if that is everything, but it's for sure Games Workshop wasn't really at the top of my list of like great stuff happening in the wargaming industry. And I'll tell you something else that happened for anybody who follows it in the Star Wars Legion community, which used to be Fantasy Flight Games and it is now Atomic Mass Games. Well, one of the lead designers, who was Luke Eddy, he left Fantasy Flight Games when the transition happened and got employed at Atomic Mass Games, and then they, in their wisdom, like 7 months after he'd been employed, have basically let him go. Now that obviously raises concerns and questions about Atomic Mass Games handling of their games, and considering Star Wars Legion was the game that I was playing, or the game that I primarily play when I do play, like that put a bit of just a bit of a downer on the whole situation. I'm also aware that Atomic Mass Games have very recently announced, I think yesterday or this morning, I'm not sure, one of them, that basically they're not making any new products for Armada. They are making some of the stuff, as in the manufacturing some stuff that is old, just so you have access to it, but they're not actually working on any of the new stuff. Now, that'd be a downer if you play that game, but I don't necessarily play that game. But just a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, you've got the new Kill Team as well. Let me just drink my water. I'll drink my water and listen to see if you can hear Kate in the background, because I don't actually know. No, I don't know. I can't hear because I'm not talking. No, I don't know. I can't hear. Sounds reasonable enough. Maybe not perfect, but I guess that's the quality of this mic. Deafened myself. Yeah, Kill Team is also an interesting game. A lot of people, I saw Uncle Atom, tabletop minions. It's weird how people have like two names. I saw his video talking about how he wasn't really happy with it, I think, and I think it boiled down to the fact that the way that it looks like to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, by the way, obviously feel free, that it looks like the core game is like the book that comes with when it gets released, not the two factions that are in the new fancy box. It looks like the core game has a very simplistic rule building, army building, or in this term, kill team building. And a lot of people were unhappy with that because you could only field, I think, you could only field like basic troopers and then one of everything else. And it looks like that they're going to basically be selling it in terms of these new boxes. So for two factions are going to get released like once every probably 1 to 3 months, probably two and a bit months, I would guess. So if your army of kill team isn't one of those new factions, then you're going to be playing really boring rules. And I think I saw like a screenshot of it, was like the comparison of abilities in the new kill team versus the old kill team, and it did look a little bit insane. Now, the very cynic in me and in others would say that that's because, well, you know, Games Workshop being I had to say that nicely, want you to buy the new books, obviously, and that's all it's going to be. And yeah, well, so hello, Aaron. Sorry, I'm messing up my words. You feel like Kill Team is unnecessarily more complicated than just modifying 40k? And I sort of like the fact, I have to say, that they've moved away from the 40k rule set, and I like the I go, you go kind of thing. I do like that. I haven't played it enough to know if it's more complicated or not. It looked like they tried to streamline a lot of it, like the movement. Obviously, you've got the Katie's shaking her head, but I'm talking about the new kill team. The old kill team, Katie, was 40k, and that was too complicated for Katie. The new one, I think, might have a better chance of, because you just have a figure and it says like you 5+ to hit, you do 5 wounds, or what have you. So I don't know. It looks like they tried to simplify it. But I don't know. Then you've got stuff like 3 white circle and that kind of stuff, and that sort of blows my mind a little bit. But it looks like they've definitely more complicated the sales model. I'll tell you that, because it used to be you bought your book and your book had everything. Then you bought your expansion and that expansion had everything, and that was okay. You had White Dwarf, where you had like some of the weirdness that White Dwarf always brings, but it didn't feel like it was that insane to me. But I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but for sure I think some people aren't happy with the sales model. If they continuously support it indefinitely, I don't think anybody would be really that unhappy, if that makes sense. It's if they choose not to support it as well as like going forward. But I mean, I don't know how well they'll do it. They have a bit of a roadmap, but I haven't actually. We don't know how long that extends. They had 3 releases on the roadmap, I think. I haven't looked at the new. When did it drop? So I don't think it's out yet, is it? It might be my misunderstanding, but I watch a lot of, and I would have to recommend Glass Half Dead. I'm sure if you've checked YouTube, you might be aware of him. He's got a video literally covering every single thing that's been released with incredible detail and depth, which, if you're interested in that, check it out. But I would recommend watching Tabletop Minions video on it if you're a little bit cynical about it, which I think in this case I probably am. I do think that Games Workshop might be... I don't even know if it's that bad. Because... I always find it's a little bit weird when they're selling rules after the fact that they've written them, rather than combining them with the original book. Like, what I'm saying there is, for the new factions that are going to get the new cool models and stuff like that, right? They obviously have those rules. They could have put them in the starter book. Now, I appreciate that at some point they don't have those rules in time before that book gets released. But they do. Like, they're not 3... that 3 months isn't waiting for the rules. It's waiting for production and that kind of thing. So there's a question about that. There's the question about why have they changed the sales model to be like that? Now it means it's a bit weird, because it means now if you collect more than one faction, you might have a bit of a problem. If you buy, for example, let's say Space Marines and Orcs, although I think Orcs might be in the first set, but let's just say just 2 factions, don't matter which. Well, instead of buying the core set and then Elites, and you have everything for those expansions, you're now going to have to buy the faction 1, the Orc stuff, and the faction 2, the Space Marine stuff. And then when Elites eventually comes out and they redo some of them, you're then going to have to rebuy them. So it basically, like, if you collect one faction, it's not really much difference. But if you collect multiple factions, they're going to get you that amount of times. Well, I mean, it's fine. If the game's good, nobody'll care. And Glass Half Dead, he has the opinion, and he had the opinion before the game was released, that he was slightly concerned about it on YouTube, because obviously you're now taking away the fact that it's a gateway drug into Games Workshop's 40k. So once you take that away, it's almost completely separate. I think weirdly in Games Workshop terms, you still probably won't know if somebody's buying a unit of Space Marines for Kill Team or that, but like, it is what it is. Just play Imperial Guards and there'll be no many changes for 20 years. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could do that. Obviously, I do feel a little bit bad for those kind of factions where they literally don't get anything for yonks. But the problem with that is, like, even if you play Imperial Guard and you want to play Kill Team, you're now going to have to buy I think, is it the Krieg? Well, basically Imperial Guard. There's some faction of the Imperial Guard, I think, with spades. I don't actually know. Do you have to now buy the new starter box thing to get those rules? I actually don't know. I don't know enough about it to comment, but I'm just like suspicious of that ploy, if that makes sense. I'm suspicious of that as a... If it was any other company, I probably wouldn't be as suspicious. That sounds a bit harsh, but like, I just think like Games Workshop, I feel like they're obsessed with selling rules. And I think that might be to do with 3D printing. Like, I believe that because they have consistently been aware of 3D printing, they're like, well, why do we bother? We'll just sell rules and make a shed ton of money. And it's like, all right, let's maximize that. But that doesn't make sense. They're making money hand over fist on both of them at the minute. Hi, Johan. I hope you're doing very well. I appreciate that I've not streamed for a little while. Yeah, well, I mean, you can't blame a company for making money. I'm going to read your name here, and I think I'm going to get this and myself in some kind of trouble. Panzer Chalk. But hello. Johan, you may realise I'm in the kitchen. I've got a different mic. I've got different headphones. I'm actually using my old computer. This is more of a test. There was not really much reason for me to do it today, but I just wanted to see how it goes, basically. The weather's actually awful, and I could have easily done this in my room, but, you know, I wanted to see what it would actually take. I'm going to get Katie to shove her face on right now, because she's going to, what are you doing? Are you going to put that outside?
I'm missing the bin.
You got to shove your face on. So they know that you're here and I'm not lying.
What, am I a fake wife?
Well, there she is. You can go now.
You sure you don't just have a fake wife?
You're my wife now, Dave. Let's not start about the weather here too. Oh, I quite like the fact that it's awful at the minute. Summer absolutely kills me. It's way too hot. You blame Games Workshop for making up these high prices when I think of all the young kids in the store. Yeah, so, I mean, Panzer, for me, that's one of the more, like... I think like it's a real conflict in terms of the Games Workshop stores, the core audience of Games Workshop products. Then you've got like the prices. So you've got kids in the store, but really the main audience isn't kids. It's like 20-plus-year-olds who have a job, who can afford stupid geeky stuff. Like, yeah, I have a little bit of a... it's not moral. Like, it's not Games Workshop fault. I think it's probably, like, to some extent the parents' fault. They drop their kids off in a shop where the stuff costs a bomb. I could hear something. I didn't know what it was.
That it really dodgy.
I could hear something. I didn't know what it was.
No, the parents dropping the kids off.
Parents dropping their kids off.
Road.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. So for those of you who don't know, like, especially in the UK, it was sort of memed that Games Workshop was a daycare centre because you would take your kid into town and your kid would want to spend. It's like when I was a kid, I used to want to go into the like game and the computer shops and stuff like that, rather than this stupid nerdy wargaming hobby. But the kids get put in there and they get taught how to paint and stuff like that, and like you get dropped off. You drop your kids off, but then their prices are so not kid friendly. I don't think anybody like. That's the problem, isn't it? It's like you've got loads of kids in the stores, but the prices are obviously not kid friendly. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't actually know where I think I always talk about this on the stream a little bit, but like where 3D printing and wargaming is going, I literally can't predict it. I have no idea. I can't help but feel that it's going to boil down to like the Fancy Flight Atomic Mass Games method of selling stuff, where you run events and getting people to play in your events is really the main thing, because otherwise people are just going to 3D print stuff. If you're like me, I have a 3D printer now and I'm not really playing at any official Games Workshop events. In theory, I could 3D print a lot of like Games Workshop models, or near enoughs. I feel like Aaron just said that. I wrote an adaptation called It Kill Team 2020 when we were in lockdown, fully based on 9th edition. Yeah, I mean, okay, what I'm trying to say with Kill Team is I don't have a problem with them changing it away from 40k. There's two different points here, isn't it? It's like, how similar to 40k should it be? And then it's the sales model. So moving away from 40k isn't necessarily a problem, and to me it's probably a good thing. But then you have the sales model where it's like, well, now you're going to force everybody to buy everything several times, and I think that's where it's like, bit weird. Haley, I'll answer that in a second. When the quality of printers will get better, I will print too. Honestly, Panzer, a resin 3D printer, unless you're a competitive... unless you're a competitive like painter, or you really like you just love painting, then I personally don't think we're far away at all. I think a lot of people, I'm not really a miniature painter, so I can't really answer this, but I think most people would be happy enough with the quality. I think with the resin printer for 200 quid can just do a decent enough job. I just don't think there's any doubt there. Whether or not most hobbyists want to do that, but the answer is the faff of setting up a printer and getting it all off the sprue and stuff like that, all off the, I can't remember what it's called, but getting it all snipped off and stuff like that, as opposed to clipping out individual arms and legs and stuff like that. I mean, for me, it's already there. I would rather 3D print if I could. And Harry, yeah, I've not been on for a little while, so the long answer to that is that summer happened, and this is why I'm downstairs. I could not stream in that little room in summer. It was way too hot. So I've now got my old computer in the kitchen, hence this is what we're doing right now. The weather outside isn't actually that nice here today, but I just wanted to set it up and see if it works. I also started playing an MMO, and you know how much of a time sink they are. And to be quite frank, I was a little bit burnt out. I just needed a little bit of a break. So it went summer into this game, into a little bit of a break. But I'm back now, made a video, I'm happy. I think I'm a little bit good. Supports, thank you, Ed. Such a simple word, really, but I couldn't remember it. Thank you for supporting me. I've got no alerts on or anything like that, by the way, if anybody dropped any links or anything like that, which we don't have anything on. Just completely forgot about that. Chilfin says, I do painting and it's fine for 90% of stuff. Same as like, the one problem I have with 3D printing is the pricing of people making their models, because you like buy a unit for like $10. I don't know. I feel like the 3D files are too expensive, but I think that'll come down over time. But I'm not really that fussed about it. I feel like people are hard on Games Workshop for their policy against printing than if their stuff was affordable. Yeah, no, that sentence I completely agree with. If you were like, my one figure cost, obviously you've got commandos and heroes and all that kind of stuff, commanders. If one figure was like £1, you could be like, hey, don't print that stuff. But on the other hand, they're like, well, we need to price it because people are going to inevitably 3D print stuff. I'm almost surprised that Games Workshop haven't released. Now I'm gonna call this right now. I think Games Workshop are going to release a 3D printer, and it's going to be like what's the phrase? You know, like not encrypted. I don't know. You're going to be able to print off anything you like. But Games Workshop are going to sell you files that can only be read by that printer. I think that would make sense. So if you can get some files that are free, I think that's completely completely understandable. DRM, I guess DRM is the right phrase. I think they'll DRM it so that they will send you a file and only that printer will print it. For me, that's the logical jump, right? If you can buy super complicated 72mm X-Wing stuff for $20, yeah. And like X-Wing stuff's pre-painted as well. Like even if you're not bothered about the quality of the paint job, like it's an option for you, isn't it? So instead I buy a $200 resin printer and you have a 5,000 point Tau Army. Fair enough. I wouldn't be... Yeah, so that's the way I think about it, Crom, is that they'll sell the 3D printed files, but you won't be able to print it on any other printer because there's no system, there's no licensing system, I guess is what I'm trying to say. At the minute, if you buy the STL, you can, in theory, just give it to anybody, right? There's no DRM or licensing involved. So I'm surprised the 3D printed manufacturers haven't got this in place where it's like, where you have to log into your account. That's what I think it needs to be going forward, and I think they would have to pressure the 3D printing companies to get it done, and it would pee off everybody. But that's where I sort of feel like it going. And hi Warlords of Archaea, sorry by the way, I'm a little bit slow, but what do you use at a game 6x, oh god, if you're trying to fill the whole board, I would almost be tempted to say use spackle or something like that, or because like if you're going to buy you won't really find sand. So I would maybe buy, if you're doing a 6x4 board, you can buy, I forgot what it's called, it's like a mix of sand, like builders use it. I want to call it aggregate, I think it might be called aggregate, and sieve out the fine bits and use that, because you can get a big bag of it for like a couple of quid. It'll take you a bit longer, but if you're doing 6x4, you want it to be nice and fine, I think that would be the best bet. Only problem I see with 3D printed is opening and ripping off designs. Yeah, for sure. Well, that's why they did all the Oruk and stuff like that, isn't it? But yeah, it's very difficult for you for Games Workshop for one to say an orc is, well, that orc is mine. Like, there's so many orcs in culture that you can't do it at this point. So Games Workshop do have that as a problem as well. Sure, I agree with that. It's a big problem as well, and I don't really know how you sort it out. I never played a game in 40k. So Lee, if you're in that, you probably already do. I'm not sure if you said, but I would recommend you get a 3D printer. Like straight up, I would just buy a 3D printer and print what you like. Why am I going so bald? Can anybody tell? I'm going very bald. It is what it is. It is what it is. Johan says, I wouldn't be surprised if they would invent a new... Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. They need a new file type, either only readable by their own printers, or they allow every manufacturer to read it if they come up with a system where you have to be online, you have to log in. That would make sense. I feel like 3D printing as a whole needs to become something serious. It needs to have a DRM system, and I hate myself saying that because I would prefer open source. But the problem is you don't get any legitimacy with open source. You need the 3D printing manufacturers to help out the other businesses, and they need to sort of have like a license fee, like a Play Store, like an Epic Game Store, like a Steam Store. You need that kind of relationship. you know, like Spotify is official. It goes through the artists. It needs to be that kind of stuff. I'm stressing about my hair loss, but other than that, I don't really feel like I'm too stressed. 6x4 boards, any hardware stores that sell. Yeah, big bag of sand. Play sand is fine, but I always find play sand is like, I don't know, it clumps up a little bit. I don't know if that's my imagination. Probably I need to just sieve it. Play sand, but sieved. Anything through a sieve is probably fine. Age does come to us all. My birthday's in like 17 days, something like that. Not 100% sure. Might be sick. It's the 7th of September is when it is. I don't really think that's an option for them, because you know as soon as they start releasing their files, someone's going to find a way to get. Yes, but look at Spotify. So my counter argument to that, if I be like, we're not having an argument, but my counterpoint, I should say, is Spotify. You can illegally get almost any music you like, I would presume, but you can very legally stream it through Spotify. I pay for Spotify. So if you enable people to pay a reasonable price and not be inconvenienced, then I feel like that can be averted. But, I mean, it is what it is. Am I looking forward to any of the new 40k games? I don't even know. Are there any? Let's have a quick gander. Bear with me a second. I realised I'm not going to be able to see the chat if I do that, so I actually need to sort something up. Actually, I'm just never going to be able to see the chat if I do that, because I've only got one screen, and I've not brought my tablet or my phone. Smart. I needed to bring the tablet, and I've not brought it down. I'm not sure what new 40k games arrive, I'm honest. I was looking forward to Blood Bowl 3. Has Blood Bowl 3 come out yet? It doesn't feel like it. There are watermarked PDF files, something like that too, writing the file amount of times you print it. Yeah, exactly. I think so. I wouldn't want to see a limit on the amount of times you can print it. I feel like that would be classic Games Workshop over-engineering something. But yeah, I think having an account makes sense, because then let's say you go and play at a tournament, Games Workshop can be like, okay, you've got to log into your account to prove where you got these from. But then again, what if you just borrowing somebody else's army? Okay, it doesn't really work, but maybe they could reimburse your account with some like models. I don't know. Look, I don't spend my nights thinking about this, but I think there's some stuff they could do. I wouldn't be surprised to see them make a 3D printer, or at least partner with a 3D printing company like any Cubic. Photon, what are they called? Whatever they're called. Worth mentioning, there's 3D printed subscriptions that give you, like I think like one-page rules and stuff like that do that. Oh, right, yes. So, Crom, I'm a little bit disappointed that the old world feels like it's going to be like ninth. Is it? Do they call it the ninth age? Whatever. Like just a new edition of Warhammer Fantasy. I sort of wanted them to reinvent it in a way. But it sounds like they said they're going to take it from, is it 8th edition and then all of the best previous editions. It sounds like they're just going to try and make a new edition of Warhammer Fantasy, which, as a Warhammer Fantasy player, ex-Warhammer Fantasy player, I'm excited by, but I'm a little bit worried that it might feel a bit old. Like, I sort of feel like they should have been like, well, we're going to actually do something more like a Song of Ice and Fire and just sort of stole their rules. Inspired by. But I'm very interested in it even still. Depends when it comes out and if it fits what I'm looking for in a game at that time. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in it. I wouldn't like such a counter. Yeah, no, it'd be annoying. But yeah, that's the worry. Like, I think having a DRM system where it's like an account based and you buy something from a manufacturer and then you print it, conceptually is fine. The problem is when companies start being like, I will rinse you. You can only print this 3 times. Give me more money. Yeah, that would be a problem. But yeah, the subscriptions I think make a lot more sense. Hey, Overboard DM, I hope you're doing very well. We need a game like Battlefield based on 40k. Wait. Oh, they tried to do a game like that. No, they tried to do an MMO. What was that game? I saw Valvat used to play it. It was not Space Marine. I can't remember what it was called. Balls. There's a game like There is actually a game like a Battlefield game. I just can't remember the name of it. It wasn't that popular though, so it is what it is. To prevent it from feeling old, the old Warhammer should use old Warhammer rules. Should not. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It shouldn't really be an old war. It shouldn't be Warhammer Fantasy. It should be something else. It shut down. Oh, I didn't realise it shut down. Yeah, well, it wasn't that popular to be fair. But yeah, it looked like it's decent. Subscription and slow printer will work for Games Workshop. Yeah, at this point, I'm surprised they've not already done it. I'm just gonna get on record right now and call it. Either within the next 2 years, Games Workshop will either make their own 3D printer. No, 2 years is maybe a bit. So it depends. 2 years might be a bit slow, a bit fast for them. I don't know what time frame. I think they'll either partner with a 3D printing company or they'll make their own. I just don't know when. I'm not prepared to stake my reputation on it. Well, little of what I don't have. You've been watching Chaos Gate playthrough videos from years ago and getting nostalgia. Hi Steve, by the way. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing all right up there in sunny Scotland. I don't know what Chaos Gate is. I'm sure they will. Oh, they've got their new Warhammer Plus. Oh, I'd even forgot about that, Panzer. Oh, that they already have a subscription that they could very easily. You've got an account with them. Yeah, it's raining here. Well, it was raining here today. Let's have a look at Chaos Gate, because if I'm honest, I don't really know what it is. So let's see if I can get it up. That's what she said. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know what we're going to see. Okay, we didn't see anything. We are sort of seeing it. I don't know if that... Okay. Let's have a quick look at Chaos Gate. I don't really know what it is. Why is this from this year? Are they remaking it or something? It looks like an ancient game. I'm going to just mute this. I know you're not going to see it because of my big fat head. I'm just skipping through. I'm just trying to figure out what it is. It's like was it an RTS? Well, that literally didn't help me in any way, shape or form. Does that say coming 2022? So they're remaking this. Which is like, I don't know, it looks like Diablo, I guess. A Diablo RTS? I don't know. I don't actually know what that is. That looks interesting nonetheless. Hey Cross. Hey Campaign Terrain. Better to make a new Warhammer, a Warmaster game. Was Warmaster... Wait, what was Warmaster? I thought Warmaster was the little Diddy models. Am I wrong about that? I can't imagine trying to rank up the newer... Oh, you're talking about Warhammer the Old World. Well, they've said they're going to keep it the same scale, so we can rule that out, Ed, unfortunately. But yeah, I wouldn't have liked the smaller scale anyway. But I mean, I wouldn't have complained. It just wouldn't have been for me. What do I think about the new stuff coming for Legion? Do you know, honestly, I haven't really checked it at all. And I don't really know why. And yeah, so that's a big question, that Overboard DM. I'll answer it probably in a second. Your lag is insane. Saying hi whilst it's letting me. Oh. Well, I said hi back. You like Chaos Gate? Yeah, there was rumored updated greyed out game. Okay. Yeah, I finally made your cardboard hills, but I'm needing some motivation to paint. Oh, painting it's like the easy. My painting is so simple. I literally just base coat it, dry brush it, and walk away. And I do it in minutes. But yes, so to answer Overboard DM's question about like Star Wars Legion in a minute, the new stuff looks fine. I have no qualms with it, but I must confess, I think I'm a little fatigued with the game, and I'm not 100% sure why. I don't know if it's the manufacturers, like, I don't know if it's FFG, I don't know if it's Atomic Mass Games not really caring for it. There's just something about the vibe that I get with Legion at the minute that doesn't fill me with joy, to quote whatever that woman is who does all the feng shui or whatever it is. Yeah, I think it sort of needs a second edition. I think Star Wars Legion needs a second edition. I'm not sure how else... Like, I went to a tournament and I played, like, really old-school Rebels. And it was like playing a different... You were playing against just, like, armies from different games. It felt really, really weird. Space Hulk looks interesting if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Marvel Crisis Protocol whilst not a competitive game, which I normally lean to, people say great things about Marvel Crisis Protocol, but my problem with Marvel Crisis Protocol is twofold. One, the pricing. Now, I know that the price per model is high. It's like 20 quid. You get like a 2-pack for 40 quid. And I know that you only need 10 guys or girls or models, whatever you want to say. And so really, you're looking at the same kind of price as a full army of like any other game. But man, I don't want to pay 40 quid for 2 models. And then the second problem is, quite frankly, it feels like they've exhausted most of the famous models at this point. You know, you're now releasing stuff that how to put this nicely, if you're not into the comic books, you're not really going to know them. And I think that could be a problem for Marvel Crisis Protocol. But gameplay-wise, I've always thought that it looks good. And if I was playing any game as a chill game, I'd probably play Marvel Crisis Protocol. It looks fun. It's quick. It's 3x3. It looks fine. Yeah, you can pick them up on eBay. I'm not trying to say it's expensive. In essence, I understand its pricing point and its pricing system, but just puts me off for whatever reason. But for Star Wars Legion, I honestly think it needs a second edition. Now, I know that Atomic Mass Games can't do that because they aren't really responsible for it until January, pretty much. And even then, it's like, how much will they spend? Will they want to like rock the boat as soon as they get it? Alex leaving's a little bit disappointing. It feels like Atomic Mass Games don't really care about it because it's not on their website. Like, why is Star Wars Legion not on Atomic Mass Games' website nearly 9 months after they took over it? I have a friend that's coming up with some homebrew stuff. I think the game set is fine. I think the balance is completely out of whack. I just don't feel like, maybe I'm going to sound a little bit harsh, but I don't feel like the people who were designing it, including Luke and Alex, they probably needed more collaboration, maybe even the playtest team. I don't feel like the game's ever been balanced. It's been poorly balanced. And now you're seeing all these new stuff which are interesting, but it feels like certain factions are getting way more powerful stuff than other factions. I think Legion should get a second edition as well. What if they got digitals? Man, they should have had I'm so annoyed. Star Wars Legion should have been an app from day one. It should have been the X-Wing. It should have been an app, and you change the points. You change the points on the app. You can list build on the app. You can show people what you're making. You should be able to like go to a tournament and just sort of like, we've been paired together because you can register tournaments. I'm against this guy. This is this guy's list. All the legal stuff that I can see, not like command cards or what have you. And you should just be able to click, you've got Magna Guards? What do Magna Guards do? You know, instead of like, mate, can I come around and look at your cards? Absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. I actually think like it's... how to say this? Not nicely, but not overly harshly. Pathetic. Should have been an app from day one. It should have been an app. And I also think it should have been 3x3. Legion's not dead, Steve. I just think like it needs more attention is what I think it needs. Daniel, honestly, I don't really know about Infinity or Malifaux. I must say that Infinity, I quite like the sci-fi aesthetic, and Malifaux has got that sort of like crazy, I want to say Alice in Wonderland. I don't know if that even makes any sense to anybody, but it's like wacky in it, which I do quite like. Dead Zone is getting a third edition. Is Dead Zone Mantic's sport game? Or am I misunderstanding? But yeah, Legion. I like Legion. I also, this is very controversial, and I'm people probably going to hate me in the probably Legion community, but I think Tabletop Simulator should be banned. I think what it does is that it creates a meta too quickly, basically. I think having Tabletop Simulator, you have all the best players in the world playing each other, so the meta, that whatever is the best, it's just known about. And quite frankly, all the people who are playtesting it are at the top, they are playtesting it as well. before anybody even's aware of it. So the meta's already there. It's not like you have to go to 3 tournaments to find it out. The meta's known 3 months before anything's released, and sometimes before it's even announced. Like, I would ban Tabletop Simulator. By the way, during COVID, that would have been the worst thing they could have done, but I would 100% ban it. I just don't think it's healthy for the game. I don't think it's healthy for them at all. I think they think it's healthy, which is why they're not going to ban it. Asmodee have bought like a 2D competitor, but quite frankly, they're not going to stop Tabletop Simulator. But Ed, it's MMOs. I mean, I have an MMO channel, by the way, for anybody interested. It's called J Oddity, Jay Oddity. I'm very much interested in New World at the minute, but you should check it out if you're interested in it, Ed. But yeah, I think online play of a war game has caused more problems than it's worth. Not during COVID, but in normal times, I think it's a problem. Now, Legion of the Dead here in the Netherlands, if I look at a local game shop. So I also have Legion, by the way, is way more popular in America than I think it is in Europe. If you ever go on like Google Trends or something like that, you can literally see that. I don't know why that's the case, but for me, it looks like Warhammer, a company based in the UK, is more popular in the UK. When I say more popular, I mean Warhammer 40k is still the most popular game in America, but relatively, what happens is Warhammer games are more popular in Europe, and American games like D&D and Star Wars Legion, stuff like that, are more popular in the US. Not more popular than Warhammer, but more popular than they are in the EU. That makes sense. So what's going on with Warhammer Hordes? Dead, innit? Ain't nobody playing Warhammer Hordes, right? They made another game, which I can't remember the name of, and all of the staff who made Warhammer Hordes have been poached and now work at Atomic Mass Games. So apparently, like Atomic Mass Games, it's pretty much all people who work for Privateer Press. So I say poached, but I don't want to go into too much details, but there you have it. Space, is it going into space for Space My Aliens? Yeah, Warcaster, thank you. It's dead. I just look, that's just my opinion. I literally have never seen anybody even talk about it for months. Like, I mean, maybe it's not, maybe it'll come back, but it feels like it was in trouble, and then they tried to do a different game, and neither have taken off. I mean, I don't envy that position, but that is what it is. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Daniel. The war game companies won't go after Tabletop Simulator until after COVID. No, I agree. But I feel like, weirdly, COVID may have killed Star Wars Legion's chance at mass popularity. Games Workshop weren't really effective because a lot of Games Workshop fans are people just painting miniatures, right? Now, Star Wars Legion never really had that. The quality of the miniatures when it was first came out wasn't good enough that people were wanting to do that. I think now it's all on plastic sprues and stuff like that. I think you're pretty much there. But I just feel like that they've got such a hardcore entrenched meta now that's never really going to go away. So, yeah. I don't know. You always have a simulator, you always have whatever's powerful and 3 of each. Yeah, and then you buy it though. It's not that bad if that's what I'm. So yeah, this is sort of a key point overboard DM that I agree with. To have a meta, right? To have 3 tauntauns, or is it 3 tauntauns? Yeah, 3 units of tauntauns, or even 3 units of shore troopers. You have to buy them if you want to test them properly, if you don't have Tabletop Simulator. So only when you get to a tournament and some madhead has actually done it, that you can see how powerful it is. And then everybody's like, yeah, I'm going to go spend my 60 quid to replicate that. The meta becomes instantly defined when it's been simulated on Tabletop Simulator, and then people can justify throwing away the money a little bit more. I have 3 units of shore troopers. I have 3 units of Imperial Special Forces. Why? Because they were good. If they were bad, I would never have bought 3. Do you know what the fact that you can just play with 6 of this, 3 of this, basically it allows you to instantly define the meta, and you don't have to theoretically test it, you can physically test it. So there you have it. That applies to Apples and Origins. D&D, tabletop RPG, wargame, 40k wargame. Better comparison would be 40k to the surprising resurgence of Battletech. No idea anything about Battletech. I believe that's the Japanese mech game, but I don't really know too much about it. I'm not sure what I said, Cross, but all I was trying to say is that relatively, basically, if you look at the search Warhammer 40k in the UK, as a percentage, it's slightly higher searched in the UK than it is in the US. It's overall it's more popular in the US because there's way more of you. But just as like a percentage, so there you go. But Jay, I have 6 Stormtrooper units. I've got 6 Stormtrooper units. I've got 3 Shores. I've got 3 Special Forces. The only thing I never really bought was the special weapon upgrades. Like, I don't know, that kind of sales model also really frustrated me, where you just need to max out. I feel like, specifically for Star Wars Legion, what I would like to see limits on units. So I think like Marvel Crisis Protocol do this. I'd like to see where you could maybe only take 4 Stormtroopers. You can take 6 core units, but only 4 Stormtroopers. You can take 2 Tauntauns, but you can't take 3. You can take 2 Tauntauns and something else. That's what I personally would like to see. Just like a cap on specific units in competitive gameplay. Might be. I'm not 100% sure what we were talking about, Cross. I do apologise. From what I've seen, Tabletop Simulator is good for playtesting before you buy. Sure, and that's the problem with Tabletop Simulator. I actually think it does a lot of good, as well as perhaps some harm. And I think the harm specifically is insidious. Is that the right phrase? I think it starts off being not so bad, but ultimately can possibly destroy a game. I've got a flair for the dramatic. Same problem with Games Workshop at the moment, which all the best option being in every player's list at a time. Now, the problem with Games Workshop, in a sense, is people just buy everything. You know, people already have 100 goblins, 100 orcs. Like, people can test that stuff out because they know that's the case in Games Workshop land. Oh, customize the hell out of your minis. I don't mind the idea of customizing your minis. I feel like you should be able to customize your mini. I'll tell you one thing. I don't really like what you see is what you get, to some extent. A lot of it I understand, like a Stormtrooper should be a Stormtrooper, Space Marine should be a Space Marine. But I really get annoyed with like Games Workshop, and it looked like they were doing this in the recent tournament pack, where it's like, you know, you must have this gun. I mean, it's a rip-off. It's an actual rip-off. To say, right, you can't come to our tournament, and if you've glued the wrong arm on, then you can no longer field it as the one that you've not glued on. They can stick that up their backside, and that is one thing I really do appreciate about Star Wars Legion, that it isn't what you see, what you get. It's what you bring on your cards, and that's what you've got. And nobody in their right mind has been like, oh, I thought you had that weapon because you didn't field it correctly. Most people actually just field the right stuff, but like, yeah, that really annoys me. What do you thought on Kill Team? I mentioned about Kill Team before. Basically, I like the new rules. I think the new rules are actually interesting. There is some argument, I saw Glass Half Dead talk about this, of like, if you take it away from being Warhammer 40k Light, which I guess is what Combat Patrol is, are you still going to now have the same interest? No, you can't. It's a bit hard to go from Kill Team to 40k because the rules actually change. So in that sense, I don't really mind it though. I do have a slight problem with like the Octarius box set and stuff like that. I don't like the fact, and I refer to Tabletop Minions video here, so do reference that if I'm chatting in incorrect information. But I'm not really a huge fan of the fact that if you don't have your army book yet, then your army is garbage. Like, you just run one of each or default Space Marines, and you've got no abilities. I feel I don't think Kill Team should be an army book game. I don't feel like you should be like, I'm going to play Space Marines, so therefore I'm going to bring my 3 books. I think you didn't explain that very well. Oh, what did I say? What did I say? I can start again. I may have said something completely inappropriate. So I've seriously considered printing some Battletech mechs and magnify them just for the fun of it. Yeah, I mean, I've got to confess that I do not hobby for the fun of it. I hobby for the game of it. I've always been like that. I just don't care about the hobby. It's just not for me. I know that's weird because I'm like make terrain and stuff like that, but my whole terrain is like almost getting it done as quickly as possible. It's not about having the best stuff. It's all about just like, is this easy? Is this quick? Is this affordable? Like, I'm not interested in spending 100 hours painting one guy's arm. I just don't. I mean, the thought of that really pains me. Like, significantly pains me. But I know that some people do enjoy that, and I don't really, like, you know, I don't cast judgment or anything like that, but it's just, I just know that it's not for me. But, yeah. So just to reiterate what I said at the start, I'm in the kitchen, for anybody wondering why I have this beautiful, beautiful background. And I'm in here because when the heat was boiling in the UK, I could not have streamed. So I wanted to just come down here. I've also realised I've not made a video for a little while. As opposed, I just made a video yesterday. But I'm back, basically. I had a break, partly because of the heat and partly just because I lost interest temporarily. So I had a little bit of a break. It is what it is. You're 43 and you've been playing Battletech since I was about 14. It's one of the few games you'd paint just for fun. Oh. I say I don't do anything for the hobby of it. I can see me at some point getting a model railway. If I don't die beforehand, I can see me getting a model railway. Can't run a mini if you grew a wrong guy on it and it needs to have the right weapons, etc. So more like you didn't understand the conversion limits at Warhammer. I've never been to a Warhammer event, but I confirm that I do not understand it. But let me just explain what I mean. If a tournament is like you have to have your bolter rifle instead of the plasma rifle, and you can't run. Let's say I grew on the bolter rifle, but I'm not allowed to run it as a plasma rifle, then I think that's stupid. Yeah. If like the kit came with those two options, I'm not even sure that they do, but just as a basic example, it's the only thing I can think of. I agree with the army book thing. It does seem like they plan on making different factions better over time for your money. Yeah, and that's it. I already didn't like Games Workshop's model for the 40k in Age of Sigmar. I don't really like the army book situation when you get an army book every 2 years, 3 years, something like that. I was questionable at best with that. And then when it's like, well, actually, you can now partner up with this other faction and you've got to buy those you're buying 2-3 books. I get a bit annoyed by it. So if you're going to build a new model railway, then you have to hide a few crisis miniatures in there since they are. Yeah, that'd be interesting. What could it be? It could be like you know, Iron Man saving somebody. I mean, you know, I don't will I ever do a model railway? Honestly, if I think about it, the answer's no. I like the idea of playing with the railway. Right? The answer's no. I'd be very, very surprised if I did. But I'm not ruling out. Do let me know if the audio's a little bit weird. I'm using they're like 40 odd mil scale. I'm using this microphone, which is my old Blue Yeti. I must have literally had this like 8 years, something like that. And I'm in the kitchen. I can show you the garden, but it's probably way too bright. I'm gonna move the camera. I'll show you where I am. Whee! Whoa! Are we gonna see the bin? I don't actually know. Whoa! Whoa! Can you actually see anything? No, it's a bit too bright. Why? This mouse just like randomly stops working. Hey! I'm in the kitchen. I mean, that'd be a weird backdrop. But what happens if I put my hand here? Will it focus on my hand? Nope. I tried. No, I can't move it back. But yeah, I'm in the kitchen. That's why I'm always in the kitchen at parties. It's why you'll always find me in the parties. I thought Hey Joe. I think Hey Joe sounds familiar to me, but I don't actually remember. Are you gonna see my naked knee? It is what it is. Ghost Rider racing a train. I mean, I'd do it. I just don't. I can't. Would I ever do a model railway? It'd be good for YouTube, but I don't think it'd be that interesting for me to actually do. I'd still prefer to be able to buy Legion minis without all the useless cardboard, especially if they knocked off some of the cost. I mean, really though, Steve, do you reckon the cardboard's that expensive? I don't think it'd save you that much. Like Games Workshop's still the same kind of price, and they don't have any cardboard in them. Oh, my voice is not holding up very well today. I do apologise. I do not know why. But yeah, I'm in the kitchen. I feel like, now maybe it's a bit weird of me, but I feel like it's a bit echoier in here. Echo. But it is what it is. Yeah, I remember you being able to use railway terrain for Marvel Crisis Protocol, which I think was a good thing. It's a bit weird, Marvel Crisis Protocol, isn't it? Because it's like modern. Ooh, modern. Just today. It's like The Walking Dead, but without the zombies. Do you ever see a tabletop company doing pre-painted minutes to get more people in the community? Yeah, I do. I feel like you can. So I remember reading about a D&D one, but I'm not 100% sure. But yes, I actually 100% would love to see a company do a skirmish game with printed minis that's actually good and not like that other Marvel game, Hero Clicks. And the way I sort of see that might happen, there was a company, and I can't remember who it is. Is it the people who do what they called? The people who do the D&D miniatures that you can print. You can design your 3D printed guy and you can print him or her or whatever, and or you can just get the file. There are coloured 3D printers where you can print in different colours. Now they are currently FDM Hero Forge. Thank you. They are currently FDM printers, so they're doing them layer by layer. But if they can figure out a way of doing that, yeah, it was Hero Forge. If they can figure out a way of doing that, then I feel like, all bets are off kind of thing for the future. Like 3D printed painted miniatures sounds insane. So we'll see. I look so much like your friend, it's scary. Now maybe I am your friend. Or does your friend also look like Sam Tarly from Game of Thrones? Can't help my face. Can't help my face. I was born with it. Well, I don't think I wasn't born with this face, as I actually grew into this face. I wonder what kind of different life I could have... Well, apart from getting injured, I wonder if I would have drank less alcohol in my teenage years. Would I look that different? I don't really know. There's a Cthulhu game that does pre-painted images as an option when you buy it on the store. Wow. Is it there's an army game, I think. I want to say Dust, but I don't think it is Dust. There's an army game with 3D printed miniatures as well, I think. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Not really, as the material is different than Games Workshop. It's cheaper as you don't have the same range size as Games Workshop Army, all sizes of support vehicles. The cardboard is the most expensive part of most Games Workshop boxes. Is that... You reckon? Now, can I just say that the material isn't all that different? They're both plastic at this point, aren't they? Because they're both on sprues. The new stuff, I mean, obviously the old stuff was resin, but the new stuff is basically very similar. They all use plastic glue and stuff like that. And if anything, the fact that it's a small company probably means they don't have the same economies of scale, doesn't it? So, but yeah. You can download Hero Forge files either in resin files or there are converters. I know several folks who have resin printed the HF figures. Wait, they don't by default offer resin printing options. That's weird. Dust is pre-painted, at least as an option. I thought, okay, I nailed it. I knew what I was talking about. Is there any Games Workshop terrain you love so much you'd rather just buy it rather than just make it yourself? Oh, almost all of it. I think the Games Workshop terrain's actually pretty decent. I don't have any qualms with it. My only problem with Games Workshop terrain is the fact it's on spruce. But I feel like I honestly feel like it's unparalleled. That's easy for me to say. I think they make the best terrain. Yeah, because it's basically like minis. It's like mini quality, but in terrain. I think it's exceptional, most of it. I just wish that it was more like push fit stuff and it was less little pieces. Like I assembled that, what's it called? Sector Imperialis, whatever it's called. The basically fancy building, the 40k buildings. Oh, there's so many little diddy, like gotta put a light here, this here, glue this at the right angle. Bit of a pain in the backside, but the quality of it, I don't think you can really argue against. It was good stuff. My Hero Forge and 3D info is second hand. I do not own a printer. Wait, Games Workshop, I never said that. I never said it was ugly. Because I said it was unparalleled. You're like, so I see what you're doing there, Cross. I see what you're getting at. Yeah, because the boxes and books like Indominus getting the cardboard print is massive compared to how much it costs them to make the minis. I feel like Games Workshop might be the exception there. Because one, Games Workshop print their own, they don't print their own minis. Well, they do, but that's not what I'm trying to say. They produce a lot of their own miniatures in the UK, and then the rest in China. But my point is that for Atomic Mass Games Star Wars Legion, they're not producing probably as many, so they don't. So the cost of the I don't really know what I'm talking about, but let's say it costs 50 grand to make an injection mold. Well, it's less likely that Star Wars Legion will make it back than Games Workshop. So I think you have to factor that in because they're not going to sell quite as many. And now it's true that the range is smaller, but then so is the quantity that they're selling. It's obviously more complicated than what I know. I can't really answer that here and now. We'd have to speak to somebody who works for both of the companies. I'm just saying I can't really envision the cardboard cutouts being the biggest factor in the Star Wars Legion box. But if that's not the case, then I refer you back to my digital answer. I would love them to just make a second edition, make everything on the app. You would probably still need tokens and stuff like that, but they could literally just sell token packs. Put everything on the app and take out all the cardboard. Either they can just profit the difference or they can knock down the price for you, Steve. Specifically you. Everybody else has to pay the standard price. But for you, I think they should knock down the price. But I don't know how viable that is. Well, the app. I mean, I feel like it's every time I stream, I always feel like I say Star Wars Legion should have an app, and I'm probably gonna say it till I'm blue in the face. I'm blue in the face. There you have it. Bin the cardboard, sell the plastic tokens, and get the app up. Yeah, I'm all in favour of that. I haven't bought a printer yet. I have a small apartment right now, but if I had a printer, I'd have done. So, you may, I'm not in there right now, but you may see me in my little room, and I have a resin 3D printer, but I don't know where you're from, Overboard. I do apologise, I can't remember. But I have mine on my window ledge. Now, the only problem with that is obviously I don't want the light shining on it when I'm printing, but I have blinds. So I can just put the blinds down when I'm printing, and I have it on the window. I'm in a very, very small room, but I can just open the window. Now, I've got it on the side where the window doesn't open, so the window can be open, the smell can go out. Yeah, so I mean, it's not ideal. And then I bought like eco-friendly resin, which doesn't smell as much. What, Daniel? You said autocorrect, but I haven't seen your message. The last message you said was Cthulhu. So did you say something that got autocorrected? Like you said sex instead of sec. Classic. I don't know, but I don't actually know what you were trying to say because I don't see your message. Now, unless that's my internet being terrible. Hey, side note, I'm not actually on it today, but we have adopted 2 internets again. So I've bought Virgin, we have Virgin. Oh, if it's a link, YouTube won't show it me. I would say post it in Discord, Daniel, but I'm downstairs and I don't actually have Discord to hand. But YouTube is like, mate, I'm not taking links. So there's nothing I can really do. It just wouldn't work anyway. YouTube does not like links, and that's all there is to say it. Is autocorrect is in cahoots with the robo mods? Time to panic. Oh, Google Dust 1974. Yeah, I can do that. Okay. Let's Google this. Let's Google this for Daniel. The robot. Well, we all know AI is going to take over the world at some point soon. So, you know, we might as well just bow down to our AI overlords right now, you know. What did I search? Where am I? You said search for it. Oh, I put Google because I literally copied your whole message. Yeah. So, I mean, I think I've been on this website. I was actually tempted, I was weirdly tempted to just order some of the stuff. Yeah. This is the website I was on. Yeah. So I feel like you can buy, it's obviously more expensive, but you can literally buy it painted. Premium painted miniatures. No, I feel like they're actually they just have a painter who paints them. Like, it's not technology, you know what I mean? They're actually, like, manually painted. Until we get to a point where, like... And $60 is sort of, like, it's, you know... It's decent enough. Hey, Dave, how are you? You're in southern Alabama. I was almost tempted to try and do a southern accent, and then I thought better of it. Yeah, I don't know I don't know if you guys would have air conditioning or anything. I don't know your situation, but our window ledges in the UK basically allow me to put it on there. Which game has your biggest interest? The game that has my biggest interest right now, probably Kill Team, but I'm not going to play it. And then I'll be back on Star Wars Legion. They're doing like a mini extravaganza in a couple of weeks of Atomic Mass games. And I feel like that'll be interesting because everything there sounds like it'll be stuff that's not already been leaked. So that'll be interesting. But you know what? I was actually I have the last edition of Kill Team. I've got it on the right near the floor. No, right near the bottom of the stairs on the floor. Keep meaning to put it in the loft. And Willow, my daughter, she keeps picking it up, and I say reading it. She's not reading it. She's 16 months old, but she like flips through it. And when I look at the figures of 40k, I actually quite like the aesthetic. So I might at some point get into 40k. I would have preferred Kill Team to be absolutely bonzo and just get into Kill Team, but we'll see. It's the Lovecraft style war game you can buy pre-painted. Oh, okay. Oh, the Dust 1947, fair enough. He's low-key still painting his Oryx. Nah, the Oryx, I sold them. I just really, like, that was a mistake on my part. I really don't like the lighting in here. I've got, like, one light and it's way too high and it's making me look super tired. Which, quite frankly, I am super tired, so that's actually true. But it is what it is. Yeah, I'm not making any more Oryx terrain. I was excited and disappointed to see that the Kill Team box is basically Orc with a K terrain. Yeah. So the terrain stuff is really interesting. I'll say this because it doesn't really matter. I reached out to Games Workshop literally today. They've obviously not replied, and I've been like, yo, terrain? I make terrain. Could I see this stuff early? So we'll see if that goes anywhere. No, so Dave, I bought it and then I sold it. Like, and I completely sort of disagree with you. I think if you're not going to play a game and you're not going to play an army, then sell it. Like, I sold my X-Wing stuff, I sold my 40k stuff, my Age of Sigmar stuff, and I don't regret it in any way, shape, or form. Just because I just knew I wasn't going to play it at that time, and I'm not going to play it. I wasn't desperate, it was just going to be stuff, it was just going to be money left on the shelf, basically. What's the faction I play in Kill Team? So, I mean, I actually really classically like the Space Marines. You may have seen in some of the videos of my purple Space Marines. I would probably replicate them because I do love purple. And I quite like the Space Marines. But then I've always I like Tau. I like Necrons. I like Orcs. Probably about it. Dark Elves, Dark Eldar, whatever they're called, Drakari. You are over the moon because my arcs have junkyard bases. Ooh, I don't know what that sound was, but that's nice for yourself. Decent terrain, all mixed together, all blends in. Kind of. I worked out a beast snaggers list from the AOS Oryx that was like 1/3 the price of the new scopes. I don't know what you're saying. You worked out a beast snaggers list made from the so you want to. Oh, okay. I get you. Yeah. If anything, that the new faction of orcs that are in Age of Sigmar. Are there also there's ones that I keep getting confused. There's ones that's in Age of Sigmar, and I think there's some new ones in 40k. I could be completely wrong, can't remember. Doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't like these sub-factions of factions. I don't like it. I mean, I prefer just to have one book that has everything for that one faction. New 40k orcs, but cheaper. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, maybe I'm old school like that, but I just want one book, one faction. And if it sounds like they'll probably do that for Warhammer Fantasy, the old world. And they might even do one book with all the rules in them and just keep it like a very low-key release. If anything, I think what really, really puts me off the most these days is because I don't have the time to be a competitive player. I don't want quick releases. Yeah, I'd quite like one book with the rules in it, and then you just play it for 6 months to 12 months, or you let something settle. But I just feel like we're all invested in this, like, something new, and I'm just tired of it. I just don't want it. Do you know what I mean? One APPP/one price. A new deal for the price of nothing. Hey, Ben, how are you? I hope you're doing very well. I may have to shut the door. My feet are getting cold. I could put my wellies on. Imagine if I put my wellies on and just Katie comes in, she'll be like, "What are you doing?" Will this fit on my head? Can I balance it? Oh, it's difficult. I'm not touching. Oh, I can't. Can I? Oh, that's it. I reckon it's doable. I'll show you my hands touching it or not touching it. Beautiful. Thank you. I'm here. I'm here all day. No, I won't be here all day. I'll be here, half an hour. But yeah, I hope you're doing very well, Ben. What was I talking about? So, yeah, like, your head's too fat. You what? You what, Thomas? Come say that to my fat face. Thank you. I thought that's what you meant. Honestly, I thought that's what you meant. I could tell. But yeah, like, going back to Games Workshop, obviously they had the issue with the text-to-speech stuff. They had the issue with... that's one thing they did as well. They banned basically anybody doing animations, even though they hired a guy who was doing animations. That's stupid. You can't... I mean, that's stupid. As somebody said, it might have been Valrak, that he's pulling the ladder up after them. Like, that's stupid. This has turned into an OnlyFans. Well, I could legitimately start an OnlyFans now that they're banning porn. I'll start an OnlyFans. What could it, like... It's just... I mean... I don't want to get into... Yeah, can't compare the good stuff with the GW crap. Yeah, I think is dodgy. I don't agree with that at all. I think that's stupid. Hired a dozen of the... Yeah, they hired them, and then they were like... Maybe all the people who were hired were like, "Yo, if you ban people doing animations, we will never have any competition." And they were like, oh, I like the sound of that. No competition. We don't like competition. OnlyFans where he cuts his fingers. Man, that's explicit content. I'd be banned straight away. But just to go on record, that OnlyFans' decision to ban that stuff will result in OnlyFans being absolute garbage. I personally have never subscribed to anybody or anything like that, but that's obviously what it's for. Stupid. You're getting a new bike. Is that a push bike or a motorbike? Because I can't tell by the emoji. Cross campaign terrain has got a bail. Have a great one. Oh, thanks, Jay. You're welcome. Have a great evening / day / morning / weekend / life. Or you're getting a bike, a cycle, a push bike, as we would sometimes call it. I bought a bike in January this year. I used it approximately 7 times. I've not used it since. With cool handlebars that look like horns. The ones where they're like round, like an actual... Is that like a road bike? Head down. You've probably got a couple of months left before winter hits. So you make sure you get used out of that quickly. Then you'll probably want to have a slight break when the winter finally hits. Yar. But yeah, I don't know why I rhymed that. There really wasn't really any point in rhyming it, 'cause it didn't really rhyme, and I just sort of made it rhyme. Bit stupid is what it is. But yes, I have a mountain bike in the garden, and I'm never going to go on the mountains. But I've always liked the idea of a road bike. I've always been intrigued to see if I could actually commute on a road bike, you know, like a really light bike, to see how fast and how far you could go. I've always liked the idea of it, but never actually like committed because they're expensive. I've got my first out in public event. Oh, the man's leaving his house. Cross is leaving his house. What's this? 2019. Wow. It was 45 quid. I mean, that's a kind of bargain you cannot refuse. Unless they murder you. Winter doesn't ever hit. Yes, so did you say Alabama or Arizona? I think you said Alabama. South Alabama. Yes, I can imagine that. Right. Like, technically, we're in summer in the UK. You would not think so. So there we go. Oh, campaign's actually been... Oh, yeah. I didn't realise that Cross was basically saying he'd not left the house even in non-COVID times. Peace. No, the bank says we need to stop them and only do safe content. Everybody leaves. Francis only is dead. It's not dead. Is that where Smarter Everyday lives? I do not know. Maybe Overboard DM might know. Alabama. I will not do accents. But yes, I agree with you, Steve. It's 100% going to kill that website. I don't think Legion's dead. I just think they wasted a big opportunity and they need to rebuild, and they need to rebuild quickly. Like, they've wasted time. They have wasted time. Like, they took over... AMG took over probably like 8 months into a pandemic, right? Which was the worst time because, in theory, they should have been working on stuff to help with boosting the reputation of the game in that pandemic times, and I just feel like they didn't bother. They didn't do it. But I honestly feel like it was a completely wasted opportunity. And then they're going to make another Star Wars game, and that's going to be a whole kerfuffle. Hey, I'm here for it. I'm happy I'm alive for it, you know. But I just can't help feel like they just messed it up. With inks, yes. Inks, what do you want to know? I normally use mine to make washes, I'm not going to lie. But you can spray them if you've got an airbrush. But other than that, they're basically just like... They're very similar to contrast paints, honestly. Probably a little bit more pigmented, I would guess, than a contrast paint, and not quite as runny. But yeah, they're very useful. I don't really paint miniatures with them, if I'm honest. Or as I said, I make my own washes. Is really all I do, and I normally just use brown and black. I've not been to an event. Yeah, but you can't say okay. No, but Steve, you can't be saying that because most people haven't been to anything in that kind of time frame. And also, I was the same. I hadn't been to an event since Feb 2020 until May this year. I went to an event. The Great Unwashed. He's referring to COVID-19. Are we still calling it COVID-19? People are just calling it COVID and coronavirus, aren't they, really? Who are they, you and everybody else? I think it's the Great Unwashed, I think, is it Games Workshop reference? It just means COVID. I don't think he's necessarily referring to specific people. Maybe he is. Maybe he just means plebs. The plebs. I was just thinking about the plebs, pillocks, prats, plonkers. Steve, answer me. Answer me. Is it the unvaccinated? I don't think you're not old enough, I guess, Thomas, to be vaccinated. I think you're less than 16, aren't you? You're under 16. I don't know if he's specifically referring to that. I think he might just be referring to COVID. But he's not going to answer you now. He's just going to wind you up. The Great Unwashed is old English knobs. What? That's racist. You know what? I think you know what sort of it really bugs me in a sense. Not you specifically, Steve, but like I think Scottish, Welsh, etc. all have disdain for the English, and probably rightly so. Whereas the English just don't care in return. Like, I'm happily supporting Scotland in the Euros and stuff like that. But then maybe I'm a little bit biased because obviously England are more likely to do well. Yeah, okay, I'll get on it. It's classist. I mean, no, it's racist. If I didn't like the French are essentially genealogically the same as the British, right? There's not that much difference, right? Then it's racist. It's the same if I was against the Welsh. Surely that's racist as well. Isn't it? I understand the point in that technically a race and a country is different. But there you have it. Oh, overboard DM, you are far too kind. Just so you know, I'm from the north. I have a few tutorials myself if you'd like to hear my accent. I think I'm subscribed to you, honestly. I have a terrible memory and don't remember listening to you. But I will definitely... let me double check that I am subscribed. Let me get my mouse to actually work. The French, they eat the snails, absolute weirdos. Yeah, okay, I mean... Yeah, let's have it. Let's make sure I'm subscribed. That's step number 1. Let's confirm that I am. Yes, I am subscribed. Let me post your link in the chat. The French. Well, I think also I do feel like if you're taking the mick out of somebody who's essentially the same genealogical, like, got similar genes to yourself, people aren't as less bothered. That's why it's fine for, the Scottish are all drunks and stuff like that. Like, nobody really cares. It's all just good. I was going to say banter, but you know what I mean. No Southern draw. Whereabouts in the north of the US are you from then? Or do you mean the true north of Canada? Canada. Oh, I didn't realise that the music had stopped. The music had stopped. We're gonna listen to your voice. I hope you don't mind. we're gonna watch you. Thomas Gibbons, but kids used to eat worms. You got to eat those worms. Worms are good for you. Okay. Let's stop the music. That was the downside to not having any music on. It's oh, you had a big gap like me. I understand that pain. I don't want to watch picture in picture. Why would it give me this? This is a great intro, by the way. Very cinematic. Sorry, I'm going to skip though because I want to hear you talk. Okay.
You've probably seen it. If you wanted to look at it, you've already seen it when it came out in the Kickstarter.
Ooh.
You've seen many videos already.
That sounds like a coastal accent to
video,
me.
you want to see my take on it. You got your take. It's all personal opinion, but
it sounds
let's just get
northeast.
into the miniatures. We're going to go through. I'm going to show you some
Not
comparisons.
quite New York.
with some
I don't
other
really know.
miniatures, WizKids and Gale Force 9.
It's not
and,
boss.
the full 9
It's
yards.
like
I'm going to try to anyway.
not on.
So
I don't know.
What I got out there right now is a miniature that, I mean, I don't know what it is. It's a wolf lizard.
What made?
dragon
I don't know. It sounds something like right up there.
thing. I don't know.
I don't know. That's what I also don't know. So I only have one screen, so I can't see anything whilst I'm doing multiple things. Copyright strike me. Oh, fair use. I was critiquing an accent. Whoa, everybody! Why is everybody being so like mean? It's American, so I hate it. You guys need to chill your beans. Bye, Johan. Thank you for stopping by. By the way, the 3 countries I'm not having 3 countries I hate the most, guys. You're going from banter to actual insults. Where did you say? You're in Michigan. Chicago. Is that Michigan, Illinois, Chicago? Is that around there? Is it north, east-ish, but not on the coast? I don't flipping know. Did you? Let's have a Google map because I don't actually know what I'm talking about. Let's have a Google map. I don't know where Michigan is. This is embarrassing for me. Not Gmail, mate. Google Maps. Too used to going on my Gmail. That's where I live. Come on. Why is this most? What's going on? Michigan. I had a feeling. I want to say it's around here, but this is like where should? No, that's Canada. Around here. Oh, where did you say Michigan? Oh, you did say Michigan. I was like, it's around here. I'm like literally looking at Canada. I meant around here. I don't know why. I thought this was America very briefly. I'm such a dope. Okay, this is... Wait. Okay. Wait, Chicago... Whoa, okay. I was placing you about here. You know. I'll take it. Don't know what I'm talking about. Nice to see where I live near Warrington for anybody who's interested. I live near Warrington. Oh, I realised I've not put myself on full screen. But that's where I live. Keeping it real. You too, mate. I don't hate people for where they come from or race. I hate stupid people. Oh yeah. I mean, there's stupid people everywhere, right? But let's put it one way. For you, Steve, you probably see more stupid English people because, quite frankly, in the UK, about 84% of people are English. So there's way more, I can categorically say this, that there are way more stupid English people than there are stupid Scottish people. Because you only have like 5 million people in Scotland. So percentage-wise, it doesn't work out. So it's sort of, I feel like, no disrespect to Americans, it's sort of the same thing with America, right? You might think, oh, there are more stupid Americans than stupid English people because there's 300 million Americans and there's only 60 million British people. There's a stupid person running this stream. Is somebody else? Is somebody controlling this? Is somebody else controlling this? What do you mean? Only the ones who visit my town, but not all English. There's Scottish too. Yeah, but like, yeah. I think it's about 84% of people who are English, and I think Scottish is the next on the list at about 5 million, which I'm not 100% sure what percent it is. Might be like 7%, 8%. I'm not running the stream. Should I was gonna. There's nothing I can put on this wall. There's some like dead butterflies on the wall, but there's nothing at like seating level. We just have this beautiful magnolia. Maybe I should get a little tiny paintbrush. Wait, do I have one on the table? I'm stuck. And maybe I'll just start painting it. What colour could we go for? Blue. That's the colours of the channel. Oh. I've heard people in the southern UK are very snobbish compared to the north. Stereotypically, you'd say yes. But you don't. I mean, I don't necessarily know how true that is. Most, and I'm going to be very close to quoting George Carlin here. Most individual people are nice, right? But the North is seen as a bit more like working class, a bit stupider, a bit more nice as well at the same bracket. But I don't know how true it really is. I also think like accent can have a lot to do with it. If I started saying like bath, yes, I'm going to have a bath, and I don't think that I want to do that tonight. I would rather, I'd rather have a gin and tonic. Oh yes, I definitely would. I think but no. Let me just refresh your memory here for one moment, please. If Games Workshop do indeed do that, then I think you will find actually they will struggle to succeed in business. Now, let me move on to Tony Blair. Hello. I am Tony Blair. I don't know what I'm doing. What Steve said is generally the stereotypes. I don't necessarily think it's actually true. But who knows? You sound like an MP. Oh, thank you. I feel like I could be an MP. Okay, guys, give me a subject and I'll argue. Give me a position to defend, and I'll pretend that I'm an MP arguing for it. The North is stereotypically more friendly. Say hello to random people. Yeah, but I also think my mum will just literally. I mean, you could just be walking past her 100 meters away, and I feel like she'll have a conversation with you. Whereas I will only talk to you if the situation calls for it. But I will strike up conversations with random people because that's just what you do in the North. But I don't know how true that definitely sounds like. Should we go back into Afghanistan? Okay. I'm going to pretend that I'm going to defend the position that we should go back into Afghanistan. Yes, so of course, our time in Afghanistan should not be wasted. And also, I do believe that if people are doing bad things in the world, then it's not unreasonable for us to take a position against which we fight the forces of evil to enable a better life for those people who are in fact in danger. For the prosecution of women is obviously something we shouldn't be abiding, and the situation, quite frankly, is abysmal currently. It's deeply upsetting. I don't know, I'm just going to stop. What I've been working on recently, so I released some cardboard dungeon tiles yesterday, and then I've mainly been working on what I'm going to build next. So I've got two ideas, right? I've got some really big ideas where it's like going to take me a week. Not a week, but like 2-3 weeks. And then I've got some ideas where I can probably knock it out in a day or probably 2 days. Now, I will do both, but for me, it's all about just planning my life around like my bigger projects and my smaller projects. I don't want to reveal what. Excuse me, because I don't really want I don't want people to get there before me, basically. Not even matters. Like when I did cardboard dungeon tiles, it's not like cardboard dungeon tiles had never been done before. But I always like to try and add a little bit of a twist. A twist. I just realised I've been talking straight at the mic where I should have actually had the mic at an angle so that when I do my plosives, it doesn't go straight into the microphone. Katie's here in a dressing gown. She's putting something in the bin. She's put something in the bin. Deeply upsetting.
Kit Kat wrapper.
What?
Kit Kat wrapper.
A Kit Kat wrapper.
Other chocolate.
No other chocolate is available. No, we only support Kit Kat. We only support Kit Kat. Nestle for the win. Thank you, Al. Hi, wife, lady. Yes, I forgot. I keep forgetting we're married. It's weird being an adult. You're like, wife. She's my wife. That's true. She is my wife. We are married officially, technically, legally binding marriage. No way it can be annulled at this point. So the only separation would be a divorce. So yeah, that is what marriage is about. Not getting divorced. The key to a successful marriage is not getting divorced. I think some people like... I'm literally 36 next month, right? And there's no way people will treat me like a 36-year-old. I just... When I have to be, I can be... Like, when I'm at work and stuff like that, I can be, like, super serious, right? But, like, mentally, I'm just not. I'm just not that age. I'm literally like a kid. How can I help the Star Wars Legion community? I'd like to make some content, but I'm not sure what people would like to see that's not already out there. If you could really make good battle reports, people love that stuff. That would be the best thing. There's a channel, so Crabbock does the news well enough. True 38, not grown up. I yearn for that kind of thing. There's a channel called, I want to say Hollywood Wargaming, which sounds weird when I say it, but I'm pretty sure that's the name of the channel. And he does a decent job of the tactical stuff. I would personally start off with, if I was making a Star Wars Legion channel right now, I do have a Star Wars Legion channel, I just don't make any content for it. I would do battle reports, and then I would do tactics. If you could get, now you obviously, well, sorry, that's not the right statement. You're likely not like a top 8 player in the world, at a guess. If you can get to a good level like that, then intricate tactics and strategies and stuff would be also pretty cool. More coverage. Yeah, it doesn't even need to be different. Like, there's not that much coverage of Star Wars Legion that the differentiator would be important, if that makes sense. If you're going to be like 40k, I'd be like, you probably need a unique selling point, but at this point, you don't really need it. Oh, Nathan, I don't know what you've seen, but I think most of it has been tongue-in-cheek. I don't think anything has actually been serious. I would. Thomas and see, it's very difficult depending where you're from, but I know Thomas and Steve were probably like not saying anything deliberately to offend anybody specifically, if that makes sense. Otherwise, I would straight up just ban them, even Steve, who I have like as a moderator and stuff like that. But like, I don't think anything was untoward personally. I don't even paint your miniatures. Yeah, I don't even paint my miniatures. That's true. Good back reps are a must. I like crafty terrain ones or War Corgi. Has War Corgi started again? He temporarily stopped, or at least had stopped the last time I checked. No, I mean, I don't think anybody's really bothered about that, Steve. I think it's more like we were talking about like French, English, and Welsh and stuff like that. But like, I don't think it's inappropriate to say, "Hey, yo." At this point, if you're not going to be wearing a mask and you're not going to get a vaccine, I don't like those people. I think that's fine to say. I have no qualms with that. And I wouldn't necessarily even call that unpleasantness as long as you like were not saying it deliberately to somebody, if that makes sense. But anything where it's like a different country or what have you, it's fine to say people who aren't wearing masks and aren't getting vaccinated and of any... when it's available are obviously, idiots. You can say that. I have no qualms with that. And they can say the same back. I actually don't mind either way. It is what it is. Those are just opinions. But I think really it only becomes unpleasant when it's like, oh, not that you're saying this, but if you seriously said, oh, the English are arseholes or whatever, then I would be like, oh, you can't really say stuff like that. And then it's like, it obviously has to be, if you're going to say something stupid like, if I said Like we was talking about the north and the south, but we were saying that more like not that it was a fact, more that that's the way that it's perceived. That's a very complicated answer. I really can't be asked explaining it, but I don't think anybody was being deliberately nasty. I don't think anybody was, but it is what it is. I have to say the camera has gone very. How do I? They made just knock the camera right off. Oh, my camera is apparently overheated, and the light's very yellow, but I can't really bother fixing it. Yeah, the problem is, right, when I'm in my room, I have like lights shining at my face, and you can't see my incredibly baggy eyes. Whereas here, the shadows making it worse. Here, I look fine, and maybe if I just stream like this. Oh, yes, I stream like this. I need some blue lights, bluer lights. I could fix it. Look, I can fix it by doing this. It was fixable. Well, as a Scot, I can, but I don't. Wait, but I don't. Only English I thought it was comments on BBC always joke about England when the nations are playing, but that's a viewer problem. Yeah, I'd refer you back to my previous statement about like 85%, approximately 85% of people in the UK are English. So like, I don't know. When I watched it, Scotland versus, was it Czech Republic or somebody, I didn't notice them talking about England, but maybe they do. Like, you're obviously more aware of it than I am. Yeah, so Wargaming did sort of stop, and there sort of is. I think there are people making battle reports, like Crafty Terrain is making battle reports. There's a couple of other channels, Fireway Medi. There are battle reports out there, but I don't feel like there's an oversaturation of battle reports for Star Wars Legion. I feel like there's definitely room for a channel. Wargaming sort of. What about the War Spaniel? He shall rise and be biting your nads off. The War Spaniel. Yes, I get it. It's another dog. Unless it's another deeper meaning that I don't get. Which is possible because I'm not that smart. Thomas is loving his own joke though. He's like, ha 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 ha. I'm so funny. They're both dogs. Yeah, okay, that is one. I thought there might have been like a double entendre or something, but no, actually it's just you've replaced Corgi for a different dog. You could Battlehound. Battlehound. That Battlehound sounds like a fine channel. What do I call funny oat nuts and dried fruit? What? Yeah, most of the time it's a good play well yesterday, and look forward to seeing them playing there again next month. I suspect I have no data to back this up, but my inkling would be that even if it's like I watched the Scottish game, right? So they're catering to me because there's probably let's say half of Scotland watched it, 2.5 million people, right? That's probably not that high, but let's just say 2.5 million people watched the Scottish game. Now, let's say there's 50 million people in the UK. All you need... Wait, let me see if I can get this right. If 10% of that watched, you would have more English people watching the game than Scottish people. So I can sort of see it. Amusely. Oh my god, amusely. Because you said funny. I didn't even understand what you were getting at, but I get the joke now. This is just disappointing in my life. Have you bought any new Star Wars Legion stuff? No. The last thing I bought was 3 units of Special Forces. I don't think... Oh no, I bought the gunship. I think I own everything for the Imperials. I'm not interested in the other factions, and I feel that's one reason that I'm essentially... It feels like all the new factions are getting just cool, interesting stuff, and the Imperials and the Rebels aren't getting anything cool. Yeah, I get that, but the Scottish... Oh, well, I mean, I can't even speak about the Scottish BBC because we don't watch it, so... They even puts on our own commentary on the alt options as there's no point listening to the English pundits. Yeah, makes sense. Because the BBC as a default is catering to the majority of people, which I think is probably the issue you have. Yes, I have seen the airbrush. They had like, they got like a skin tone set, which I was like, wow, I didn't even know there'd be enough paints for that. For me, I just do like one paint and a wash. But yeah, I probably could have got my hands on it, but I've not been. I mean, I don't airbrush for the same reason I don't try and use my procs on very often. I try and keep my content very approachable. But my boys found out that there are Legion clones, so want those for X. Oh, when you said your boys, I was like thinking you meant, yo, my boys. Where my boys at? You actually mean your children. Which is completely understandable, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I'm not gonna buy an airbrush set. I have an airbrush, I just don't use it. I don't know why. Your two sons. Now, if you have 998 more sons, it's a little 40k reference there. Is it 40k? Or is it Age of Sigmar? Wait, is it Age of Sigmar? It's Age of Sigmar. Is it Age of Sigmar? Is it both? I can't remember. Yeah. See, I've been thinking about that today as well. So I was thinking about literally my category of videos, and I realised that really one of the main is the 40k. Okay, thank you. One of my main goals is to just do cheap and easy terrain, and I don't really want to spend the money to like. I put it one way, right? I did a poll and I said, how many of you have access to XPS foam? Let's say 50% of you did. And then I said, how many of you have a hot wire cutter? And only like 20% of you did. So I'm not really sure what I can offer. Yeah, but it means I don't get to play with them and still would... It means I don't get to play with them and still would need to build and paint them. Oh, pain. That's why I've got a daughter. She'll probably not be interested. I've been recently using my airbrush more. It's actually getting me to paint more. Weirdly, I'm such a lazy painter that I should probably paint models that way, but it's not doing because I'd rather just contrast them because I'm lazy. Your fat head of knowledge seems to be leaking. Why am I getting insulted? I didn't come on the stream to get insulted, guys. You know. Why? Why you do this to me? So anyway, I'm going to go upstairs, listen to this stream back and see how it sounded, and see if it's something that I could do long term. It may be a complete waste of money. Well, actually, it didn't cost me anything. It's literally my old computer. It's my old graphics card because I just bought a 3060 Ti. Yo, what up, mate? And it's my old processor from like I replaced my processor like 2 years ago. So it literally is my old computer. I did buy an SSD though. Cost me like 20 quid. Boom. But so it didn't cost me anything. And this mic I already had. So everything here didn't cost me anything. So I'm saying that I'm not going to set up everything for my airbrush. Yeah, I think my channel isn't going to be for people who are into the hobby. To put it bluntly, I think my channel is for people who want stuff, who want to play. Oh, Diggs Miniatures and Gas Ones is in the house again. Hi. Thank you. I know you donated last time, so I have no alerts on because I'm an idiot and I'm not setting up on this computer. But hi, Diggs. Thank you very much for that. I do really appreciate that. Oh, I'm making it in this one. We got $5 and $5. Thank you. For some reason, I read that as pounds. But $10. Thank you very much from Overboard DM previously and Diggs Miniatures and Gas Ones. I mean, I've not asked for this, but did I subscribe to your channel last time? That is a great question. Hey, why can I not copy and paste anything? Oh my god. He's not here. He's not said anything, but I'm going to try and copy it anyway. Let's see if we can get a link. It's a bit late because I've already told everybody we're leaving, but we'll see if we can get anybody to subscribe. I wasn't subscribed. I'm a bad man. I'm pretty sure you donated last time as well. I'm honestly such a bad. Please go and subscribe. They didn't ask for this, so please go and do that if you can. Hey, I got you already background while I had it pictures from a tractor show I was at. A tractor show sounds like my kind of thing. I mean, I'm not. I mean, you probably super into tractors, but I just like going to those kind of things. Joy J, we love your fat head. I'm not. I mean, I don't. I mean, my head's big, but it's not. I mean, it's not that bad. Have you told the taxman about your YouTube? I have, Steve. I am officially registered and I pay tax. Don't worry about it. However, I haven't actually paid anything because the UK has something where if you make less than £1,000, you basically don't pay tax. And I haven't been making £1,000, but I feel like next year there's a chance that I might. So I may actually be paying tax. But I officially am registered and do my own taxes because I even if I badly do them, I want them to know that I tried. Even if they come out, I don't want like a Jimmy Carr situation, you know. I want to be like, I've actually tried to pay these. So, should be making content again soon. Might start a diecast cruise night. Oh, nice. Yes, I'm going to go listen to the stream. Thank you everybody for watching. I'll see if I can improve this. For example, there are a couple of things that I forgot. I don't have a pop filter on this microphone. I was talking right at it, so when I did my P's and P's and T's, I was probably doing plosives. The room is naturally echoey. I'm not sure there's anything I can do about that. I could possibly show you this background, but I don't know if we'd want to see it because we'd probably just see Katie washing the pots in the background. But let's show you what I could have shown you. What is this stuck on? Like, we could have had the kitchen. Oh, well, there's a bloody monitor in the way. Like, I could be sat there, for example. You know? I'm not wearing any pants, so this is going to get dangerous. You know, just bear with me. Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy, Asmongold. Gold. We got stuff on the wall. You know, we could have this as a view instead. Hi guys, I'm just sat in my kitchen. Goodbye, everybody. I know you can't see. Well, you can't see me right now. Goodbye. You want to see my fillings? I got loads of fillings, honestly. I got terrible teeth. Yeah, so www.onlyfans.tabletop. Not tabletop. To Very Made Easy. Do some ASMR. So, what I'm going to need you to do is pick up that paintbrush, dip it in that pot of water you've got there, make sure your brush is nice and clean. Wait, I've got a brush. And then you take that brush, dip it in that paint, and then you take that brush and you made me do. Stroke the mic with the brush, genius. Steve, it's me and Steve we're gonna rule OnlyFans. Just stroke that brush. Oh yeah, stroke that brush. Oh. I'm going. Sorry, Phil. You've missed the quality stream. And we're into this. This is what we're doing. I'm off. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I do really appreciate it. My streams are so stupid and mental. I do really appreciate it. I'll catch you all next time. I will try and stream a little bit more. Yeah. Goodbye. You didn't miss anything. Are you slagging off my stream? Are you slagging off? I can't believe you do such a thing. Goodbye, everybody. Love you all. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. See you, everybody. Goodbye. Oh, it's over. I'm free. They'll never see me again. They'll never see me again. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. I actually prefer the colour of the curtains. Or maybe it's just me. It's a bit boring, but I might do the curtains next time. I'm gonna go stick this brush on my backside. Gotta have a little bit of fun. Every now and then. Oh, actually, I'm gonna put it right now. I'll do it right now. Oh, it's a tight fit. I'm just kidding, because I was gonna come back on and be like, I was gonna pretend to stick it on my backside and then put it like, tasty. I'll see you, everybody. Goodbye.